Hi, this is Chris. My craft desk is looking a bit trashy today, isn't it? Well, that's because I want to make trash into storage items. So these are all recyclables. They're all cardboard except for this one, which is plastic. And I've got tubes, and I've got little wine bottle containers, some facial tissues, cat food box, sandwich bag box, and tea boxes, a toothpaste box, all kinds of things. Before I make my project for today, I'll show you some of the things I've made from recycle boxes in the past. First, they don't have to be for your craft room. They could be for any kind of storage around the house. So this one is for my seeds for the garden. And that is made from this cat food, cat treat box. And I just covered it with scrapbooking papers. And on the inside is tea-dyed paper. And of course right out front, cat grass. And then on the bottom, I finished it. I put these little spools for feet. And that's made from that kind of box. The next one is made from a box that had a handle. I can't remember if this was a wine box. I think it might have been because I have this other wine box that I'd like to make something from. This one has dividers. This one doesn't have dividers. But it already has the handle built in. So that makes a great carry-all. And once you put, I would put like a heavier scrapbooking cardstock all the way around and on the bottom. I would put it on the bottom first, and maybe the scrapbooking cardstock could go over the edges, make it a little bit less flimsy. And then another box would be a box of tea. It'll be a box like this. It's also wrapped with scrapbooking paper all the way around. It's just a box to put current projects in or supplies, or you could use this for correspondence or mail or something if you like doing that sort of thing. And it's finished on the bottom like the others. There's this one here. This one has cornbread mix box in the back, cut down. And then I think this was an aspirin bottle or a vitamin bottle, an aspirin bottle, something like that. Just small things. And this, I put this on the table near my favorite reading chair. And I have my reading glasses in it, and some glass cleaner, and the little rag. And that also is finished on the bottom with little feet. So that's just a few of the things that you can make using these cardboard boxes as a substrate, as a starting place. All you have to do is cover them with whatever your little heart desires. Some pretty papers, some fussy cuts, just about anything. This one is two muffin mix boxes, or one cut in half. Looks like they might be one cut in half. And then I made a cardboard carrying handle for it. And decorated all around, again, finished on the bottom. And I put little dividers in this one so that the pens will stand up a little bit straighter. And then it has the little carrying handle. So now let's get on to our project. So what I was thinking of making today was a little file box. And this is so pretty, I really don't have to cover it. I can put some decoration over the brand. I can cover this up and strengthen it and put some little feet on it. And then I'll show you how I would cut this and make it into a box that I can use as a little file box. But before we do that, I had an idea. I have this ball of twine that's starting to get really loose because it's been unraveling, and I thought I would make a little holder for it. So I'm going to find some pretty paper and I'm going to cover up this label. I'm not going to try to pull it off because it'll probably just rip and tear and make a mess. So I'm just going to cover that up with a circle of paper. Alright, we're all done. Now, I want to be sure that my twine is not caught on anything. I'll just drop it in there. Put the twine up through here. And then I can just hook it on that little thing. I have a little twine holder. I can see how much twine I have left. I can unhook it, pull out how much I need. Just hook it back on there so it doesn't fall back into the container. That's cute. Now for my file folder. Now this is what I do whenever I'm making a box. I start with the top. I'll trim the ends. And then I'll glue anything that's starting to come apart. So this one is coming apart. Then what I'll do is I'll fold all these flaps under, and that'll help strengthen the box. And that's the beginning of our box. So the next step after this dries will be to line it with some nice paper. I like to use something sort of neutral, and I could use scrapbook paper, but I have these eco prints that didn't really show up as prints. They're just, I think I just threw a bunch of petals on the last pages that I had. measure this. Not quite wide enough. This is 28-pound paper, so it's a little bit heavier than regular copy paper. And I'll fold it just inside the line. I folded it, and then where I clipped the corners, I let those fold in, and then I'll just put a little bit of glue on those too. Now I want to line the sides, so I need to measure that. Make sure it's all the way down to the bottom, and then I'll just press crease it along like this. I don't always fold the top over, but since this is a larger box, I think I'll just fold the top edge. Give it a nice finished edge there. So I'm just trimming it to make sure it falls just below the edge of the box. I'm not doing any fancy measuring or using any fancy cutting tools. I'm just fitting it as I go. That's better. I'll run a little glue down in the corner of the bottom, up the sides, across the top. what I'm doing is having each piece meet in the corner, so there's just one seam right in the corner. I know you can't see half of this, but I need to press it against the tabletop to make sure it's down nice and tight. All right. Isn't that pretty? I think so. All right, the inside's nice and neat. And now I want to cover the bottom. It's a little bit bent, so I think a nice piece of cardstock on there will help. This side's a little bent too, that could be the back. This side's nice, that could be the front. I have this Coordinations Color Core cardstock, Tim Holtz Craft Core Nostalgic Collection, 12 by 12. Premium 80-pound acid-free cardstock. It's textured on one side, sort of like I guess like a linen texture, which I don't care too much for. But what I really like is just plain cardstock color. So I'll pick a color that I don't care too much for. I saw one back here. I don't think I would use this one very much, so I'll take that. And we're going to cut it slightly smaller. So I'm just going to eyeball this here. I know you can't see that, but I'm going to eyeball that and do a pencil mark. And then I'll eyeball this on this side. And do another pencil mark. I'm going to use this Aleene's Clear Gel Tacky Glue, mainly because I don't have very much art glitter glue left. I need to order some. I think I would like to put some ink on this. It's not wanting to stick to the sort of slick surface of the tissue box, so I'm going to hold it down till it decides to stay put. I'll use some of my vintage dress weights. Meanwhile, I'm going to work on some little clusters to cover up the logo. I'll check out my little box of scraps and see what we have. It goes with that sort of bluey green color. Oh, look, there's a milk bottle label, but, well, it kind of goes, it kind of is the same colors. Here's a typewriter, a stamping of a typewriter. These colors kind of go. I'll show them to you as soon as that's dry. I'll turn it over and we'll look at the colors, see how they match. I have some Martha Stewart Chestnut Brown and some Craft Smart King's Gold. Those are dry now, and I will put them on. Wait for my glue to come down. And then I have one of these little stamps that says, "Inspired by life, crafted by hand, one-of-a-kind art created by." And then I'll take one of my pens and I'll sign it. And put the year on it. Okay, now we can work on some little clusters. I was going to show you the colors. So I think these colors all go pretty well. Whoops. Lost my foot. I lost my footing. I forget that this tacky glue doesn't dry as fast as the art glitter glue. So I don't know if I'm going to use that. Kind of hard for me to use original vintage ephemera. Okay, I like it. We're almost done, and I just want to make some file folders to go in this. So I have this pretty new folder. which is kind of big. It's bigger than a normal folder. And I have this hanging file folder that ripped, and I repaired it, and it's ripping over here, so I can cut this down. The little file box is finished. I've made 3 folders so far, and I can make quite a few more. I just have to find some more old file folders. I'm sure I have those. I could decorate them if I want, and then I can use this to store a lot of things in. So have a great day crafting. See you later. Bye-bye.